is trying to grow the channel. We trying to grow. We trying to do some things up in here. Up in here. Up in here. Okay. I don't know where that came from. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Anquinette and today I just wanted to share with you all this soft glam fall look that I have created. So if you happen to be interested, please do keep on watching. Watching. Today I decided I just wanted to play around in some makeup and just kind of do an old school makeup tutorial. So I have a bunch of my products just kind of laid out in front of me. To start, I'm going to prime my face with the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. Invisible layers of silk instantly filters away imperfections and impurities for alluring skin all day and over time. So foundation, I am going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Luminous Foundation in the shade 345C. I'm just going to do 1.5 pumps on the back of my hand. Use my Dampen Beauty Blender. Alrighty, next I am going to use my concealer. This is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. So what I like to do with my concealer, kind of like to let it sit on my skin for a little bit. I also am going to use the Smashbox Primer Water. This is a Set and Refinish spray. This to kind of allow it to give a little bit extra hold. And I like to let my concealer dry down. Next, I am going to do eyebrows. I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Dip Brow in the shade Dark Brown. I am using a slightly angled brush from Morphe. And what I like to do, just kind of like to dip my brush into the pomade. So I like to start where the inner corner of your tear duct is, to kind of use that as a guideline of where I should start my eyebrow. The arch, I've heard, or I suppose, should be right about here, I think. From like the middle of your eyeball. Then to end your brow, it should probably be about there. So then on top, I just kind of like to go about the natural shape of my brow. And I kind of like to fill in the tail of the brow ever so slightly. And then now I'm going to repeat the same step on the other side. They are arched and essentially are within the same shape that my natural brows are. This process is just to kind of fill in the areas that are sparse and to essentially frame your face. After I've created my shape, I usually go in with a brow pencil such as the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. This pencil in particular has a dual side, has a very small fine tip, so then you can also achieve the same shape as you would with the pomade. Probably a little bit user friendly as opposed to the pomade, especially if you are a beginner in makeup. And then it also has this spoolie side, so then you can kind of fine tune the harsh lines. I'm going to go in with the Naughty Nude palette by Huda Beauty. I'm going to use a Morphe blending brush, and I am going to go in the shade Rough. It's this shade right here. Use this as a transition shade. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade. Go in is the shade Juicy. We're actually just right below it, ever so slightly right below that shade of Rough. The next shade I'm going to go in is the shade Hypnotic, which is this shade right here. And I'm just going to use this as my lid shade. I'm going to go back in with the shade Naughty. Actually, I never used that shade. I'm going to use the shade Naughty, which is this chocolate brown right here. Tapping it and blending. Just kind of tap and blend. Oh, don't poke your eye. Shade Rough to kind of blend it out a little bit further. I feel like I like the look so far. Now I am going to use, I'm just going to honestly just use a mascara. This is the NARS Climax Extreme. This is a volumizing mascara. And I am just going to wiggle my wand into the base of my lash and drag up. So wiggle up, wiggle up. I do like to layer it on pretty thick. So that's just my preference. And now I will be applying it to the bottom lash line. Now I'm going to bronze up the skin. I have been thoroughly enjoying my Benefit bronzer, the Hoola Caramel. I like to take a big fluffy blending brush, dab it into some product, kind of brush some of it off in very light circular motions. I like to do a little bit of contour, and I like to use my Fenty Beauty, the Sunstalker and highlighting palette. I like to just honestly go in with a fluffy brush, such as this Morphe one. It's a shade right here, or the shade. I've used all of this shade. This is Private Island. That is probably one of my favorite bronzers from the Fenty line. And then also the Caramel Cutie, I think. Yes, Caramel Cutie. So I've been thoroughly enjoying this bronzer as well. And I just kind of like to go down the sides of my nose. And to kind of soften up the lines, I just kind of do this. Let's use some blush. This is a Benefit product. This is the California blush from Benefit Cosmetics, Corally shade. And I just kind of like to dig my brush into it and kind of dab it on the apples of my cheeks. So I am almost done. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of powder, then lips, and I should be done for this look. So I am going to go in with the Fenty Beauty. This is the Pro Filter Powder in Banana. I also like to mix this powder with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. This is in the shade Medium Deep. So what I like to do, I like to get a little bit of this powder, probably about that much there. Mix it with the Fenty Beauty powder, which is more of a yellow shade for brightening. I kind of like to add these two together. I just kind of mix them up like this. For the most part, they're mixed. Then I go in with my Dampen Beauty blender and just kind of set my face, set all the liquid with powder. For the most part, I am done. I like to kind of go back over with my bronzer brush to kind of blend out any harsh lines. Now, for lips, we are going to go in with one of my favorite liners, which is the ColourPop Lippy Liner in the shade BFF3. As you could tell, she's been very loved. And I am just going to line my lips. And I am going to go in. I couldn't figure out exactly what lip I wanted to do, so I brought out a bunch of different types of lip products. I don't know. Let's use MAC in the shade Whirl. Let's see if this Whirl one would work. I think it'll work. Definitely enjoy the shade for the fall. Kind of gives you that mauvey, dusty, nudie shade that I like for fall. That's it. Y'all, so like my back porch, I have a screened in porch, right? So I came out here and I was like, let me get a kind of like a video for you all to kind of see my makeup in like natural lighting as opposed to having it with my ring light, right? So I come out and I am thoroughly shocked and surprised and trying to figure out how this little thing got onto the other side of the screen, right? Let me show you. This little lizard dude is on the wrong side of the screen. He is on my side of the screen. Oh, he's looking at me, you guys. He's looking at me. Yes. I need him to go on the other side of that screen. Like, I don't know how he got in, but he needs to make his way out. Not playing.